All right, on to the Big Ten here, which is a joke of a conference pretty much from top to bottom. They finally did away with whatever ridiculous names they had for their divisions, the leaders and the legends. I guess once they figured out they didn't have any leaders or any legends in that conference, they went ahead and just went with the usual East and West for their division names. Now, the popular pick in the East is Ohio State. Uncle Lou just can't pick Ohio State to win. There's just no way. It's not going to happen. Urban Meyer is human toilet paper, and I'm not picking Ohio State to win anything, period. So I'm going to go with Michigan State in the East. The West is a little bit more difficult this year. I've heard some people picking Wisconsin. I've heard people picking Nebraska. I've even heard a few people picking Iowa. I'm going to go with Wisconsin. There's not really any rhyme or reason to that pick other than I just think they're the best overall team in that division, and if I had to pick one right now, I'm going to go ahead and pick them, and I'm going to pick Michigan State to beat them in their title game. So I have Michigan State winning the Big Ten. And Ohio State, they may have a good team this year. Like I said, a lot of people are picking them to win this conference. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it until they beat an SEC team in a bowl game. They have zero respect from Uncle Lou. Their history of mediocrity against the SEC has been well documented. They haven't beaten an SEC team in a bowl game ever, and this goes back to the 70s when Alabama thumped them around. Georgia beat them back in the early 90s and I think it was a Citrus Bowl or something. And then, of course, everybody knows they're running the BCS era. They're 0-7, 0-8 against SEC teams. They can't get a win. The one year that they did squeak by and beat Arkansas, which they only beat Arkansas by, I think it was 31-26. They only beat them by 5 points. They had to go back and vacate that win because they played with all ineligible players because of the whole Jim Tressel tattoo situation. So until they learn how to beat an SEC team, they're getting zero respect from Uncle Lou. And anybody that knows anything about college football should feel the same way. Urban Meyer is a joke and a disgrace. Any human being that would use his own health as an excuse to leave a program that they've left in the gutter, Florida, talking about you need a year off to rest your heart, it was complete BS. I don't have any respect for Urban Meyer. He's human toilet paper. He's a hemorrhoid on the ass of time. He's like the turd, that one last turd in the bowl that just won't flush. And until they learn how to beat an SEC team, Uncle Lou's not picking them to win their division. I'm not picking them to win their conference. I'm not picking them to make a playoff. I'm damn sure not picking them to win a national title. The best thing Ohio State can do is concentrate on beating Michigan at the end of the year, because that's your championship game, Ohio State. You beat Michigan, save a little bit of self-respect, because you're not in the same league as the SEC. You're never going to be in the same league as the SEC. You've lost to every SEC team. You have. I'm getting irritated and aggravated here, but they only have a winning record against two SEC teams, and you don't have to think very hard to figure out who those two teams are. Kentucky, and I think the other one is either Arkansas or Vanderbilt. I think it's Vanderbilt, though. But those are the only two SEC teams you even have a winning record again. You've never beat an SEC team in a bowl game, so anytime you play any decent Kiffin, your coach would be the most embarrassing name in college football. Urban Meyer ought to get down on his hands and knees and thank Lane Kiffin every day. Because if it wasn't for Lane Kiffin, Urban Meyer would be the biggest joke in college football. All right, I got to move on now because I'm getting cross-eyed.